want to show you the 10 steps you need to take in order to make your first $30,000 wholesaling real estate. No matter your experience, you don't need a license. Best of all, it doesn't take a ton of cash. Let's get right into it. I have been wholesaling since I was 18 and a half years old after I dropped out of college. And I can tell you, wholesaling real estate is the way to get into real estate. And when I was 18, 19, and I wanted to start making money, I got to a point where I was like, I don't know if at 19 I could figure out how to make money in real estate. And then I learned about wholesaling, where I didn't have to own any real estate. I was selling contracts. It was really just sales and marketing. And now sitting here at 25, I have trained over 200 people on finding off-market real estate deals. And there are 10 steps you can take that I've seen and put my students through that you can take, and 30, 60, 90 days later, have your first check. My first wholesale fee when I was 19 was $105,000. There's guys in my program that have done $200,000 deals a couple months into the business. So the first thing you have to understand is the basics. Understanding what a contract is, a purchase and sale agreement, an assignment agreement, and understanding what title and escrow is, and the flow of what wholesaling is. So the first thing is a purchase and sale agreement. Purchase and sale agreement it's a 1 to 2 page agreement that is going to allow you to put a property under contract if you're 18 years or older. Now, I recommend you open an LLC. It usually will cost you a couple $100. You can do it under your personal name, but the main thing in wholesaling, you want to have an or assigns clause. So instead of Cole Ruud-Johnson LLC buying a property on a purchase and sale agreement, it's going to be Cole-Johnson LLC and or signs. That and or signs gives you what's called equitable interest in the ability to assign that contract to the next buyer for a fee. So you have to have that and or signs part. The next thing that an agreement's going to have is a purchase price, earnest money amount. Earnest money is kind of a preemptive, hey, I'm going to pay you $300,000 for the house, but tomorrow I'm going to give you $250 to hold that title and escrow, which I'll talk about in a little bit, so that you can make sure that you trust me when I'm doing. Then you'll have a closing date and usually an inspection timeline, which you probably won't have, or you have a short one. You both sign it. Now you have this contract that you have equitable interest in that you can take to sell. The second thing is an assignment agreement. An assignment agreement is a document you'll sign with an end buyer, usually an investor that's going to buy that home and flip it or keep it, whatever they're going to do with it. And normally, say you have the purchase and sale agreement at $300,000, now you'll have your assignment agreement, which will outline that you spend $300,000, they're going to buy it for $320,000. So then at closing, the seller gets their $300,000, the buyer gets the house, and you get your $20,000 fee. And if you want my free contracts to do this, they're in my bio. You just click the link in my bio and you'll be able to access those contracts. The third thing you need to understand is title and escrow. The function of a title and escrow company like WFG, like Fidelity National Title, like Chicago, like Republic. There's a lot of different title and escrow companies out there. What they're going to do is they're going to pulling a title report, making sure title's clean, there's no liens on the house. They transfer that ownership at closing from the seller to the buyer. Escrow, they're going to hold all the money during the transaction. So when you wire in earnest money, when the buyer wires in their funds to close, that's all going through escrow and then being dispersed to the seller. So it changes parties to a neutral, legal third hand. So you're going to find a house using the strategies I'm about to talk about. You're going to get it under contract, sell it to a buyer, and work with title and escrow to make all that happen. Number 2 is you have to have a marketing channel. When I started out, I was cold calling. And so steps number 3 and 4 is going to be setting up our cold calling marketing campaign. So the first thing you're going to do for step 3 is you're going to go to PropStream.com. And there's going to be 2 lists I want you to buy. On my Instagram, my YouTube, I show you how to pull these lists more in depth. I want you to buy a vacant house list, and I want you to buy an absentee out of state list. So the first list is a list that the USPS have verified as vacant homes. The second list is a list of people that own a house, but they don't live in the house, meaning they're a landlord or it's vacant, they live out of the state. So that home is probably going to become a nuisance for them eventually. Step 4 is you're going to go to easybuttonskiptrace.com right here, and you're going to pay about 10 cents per record to get phone numbers and emails. So now you have about 3,000 to 5,000 people that you have phone numbers and emails for, and you've spent $300 to $500. Right? That's a lot of people. For step 5 is you're going to start cold calling. One of the best dialers you can use is batchdialer.com. Is where you'll be able to go sign up and start calling these phone numbers using the free script, which again, you can get in my bio. Step number 6 is a very important step. Now you're going to be making offers to sellers once they expressed interest. So generally speaking, a good cheat code, I'm not a whiz at underwriting, right? You don't have to be. It's sales and marketing. A good cheat code is to take what the home's going to sell for fixed up, multiply it by 78%. That takes out realtor fees, that takes out closing costs, and that generally takes out the profit an investor is going to want to make. So 0.78, then you subtract repair costs, which I normally estimate to be between $40 and $60 per square foot, depending on the condition of the home. And that'll give you a number a buyer can pay. Then anything under that number, let's say that got me from $700 to $500, anything under that $500 number is going to be what's my assignment fee when the property closes. So now you're making offers. You can get our offer, our free 7-figure closing sheet, again, at the link in our bio. Step number 7, now you have a contract with the seller. Now you need to find a buyer. What you're going to do to find a buyer is go, in my opinion, on cashbuyersplus.com. We'll put that link below, and you can buy a list there of about $100 of buyers you can start emailing. You can also go in Facebook groups. Most states will have their own real estate investor, real estate buyer Facebook groups where you can market your deal in there, meet buyers that way, and you'll have your buyer. Step number 8 is getting that assignment agreement signed. Step number 9 is turning that assignment agreement into title and escrow. Step number 10 is coordinating with title and escrow and the seller and the buyer, making sure everything goes smooth. And normally within 2 to 4 weeks from when everything's turned into title and escrow, you have the buyer, you have the seller, you're going to get your check. And nationwide, an average assignment fee is going to be between $10,000 and $20,000 per deal. My biggest deal was a $175,000 assignment fee, and I've heard of and seen much bigger deals than that. So that is the blueprint. That is the way that you get rocking and rolling, and you can do as many deals as you want, and you can scale this into a real business, which I talk about all the time on my page. So get out there, follow these 10 steps, and get that first $30,000 wholesale fee in the next 30 to 90 days. Best of luck. And again, I put out videos like this all the time on scaling wholesaling businesses and doing more deals and finding more deals and becoming what I call an off-market operator. So for more content like that, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you on the next video.